Today we'll be talking about how we can update our chatbot on Watson with IBM on WhatsApp with IBM Watson Assistant. My name is Khalil Faraj. I'm a developer advocate based in UAE, and with me I have my colleague Mridul, who as well he is a developer advocate, and as well we have Hashim, who is an IBM client technical specialist. So this is part of the IBM webinar series, and we're focusing today on a specific AI technology, which is the Watson Assistant, and we want to see how we can extend its capabilities by focusing on this integration with WhatsApp. So in today's session, we're focusing much more on the integration rather than going along and talk about Watson Assistant itself. So we won't spend most of the time just focusing on this integration with WhatsApp through Twilio, and we'll see how later on in the workshop part, the hands-on part. So to get started, please make sure to register on the following link, the ibm.bi/whatsapp-chatbot. So I believe this has already been shared on the chat. So just make sure to click on it and register for your IBM cloud account, sign up for it, or sign in if you already have one. And we have as well our survey link. So in case you need to leave at any time, just make sure to know the survey and fill it out. It has a couple of questions, like only 2 or 3. Fill this anonymously, and this will really help us to know what kind of topics you'd love to know more about, how was this survey, how was this session, so we can work on it and keep improving. So let's get started. First of all, we just want to make a quick introduction about the platform that we're using. This is Crowdcast, so make sure first of all to follow us by clicking on the follow link in here. There's a button below, Get Start Here. This is called an action button. So basically, if you click on this button, it will direct you to where you can register for your IBM account. So please make sure to do that. You can ask any questions, and there is polls. So if you can please answer the poll question, there are 5 questions, and this basically to know, get a bit of feedback from your side, to know if you have a bit of experience with Watson Assistant or you know what Twilio is, and as well there are 2 main important questions, which is about having a Twilio account and having an IBM cloud account. So I want to make sure that you have already registered so you can follow along during the rest of the session. And in case you have anything to say or to chat, you can simply just put whatever you want here in this small box, and you can answer other questions as well from here. So let's get started. Now we want to talk about Code for Code, and basically this is kind of a hackathon that IBM does every year, where we focus on a specific issue or problem that's happening. And this year the main theme is climate change. So if you have any kind of idea or solutions that can help in this field, feel free to register. So basically, there are 3 main topics. I will talk about this at the very end of the session, but this is where you can put your technical skills into use and try to make an impact in our society, collaborate with other people, meet new people, try to build a solution that can be a business later on. So in case you win, you will be able to win $200,000 and to support. You have people that support you to build your solution and make it a new business. So again, we'll talk about this at the very end once we're done with the workshop. As for the agenda, so we'll start talking about chatbots at first. There are kind of different type of chatbots that we want to cover, and then we'll talk about their main use cases and the roadmap. And from there, we're going to jump and discuss about the main 3 services that we'll be using during this session. We have Twilio, we have WhatsApp, and we have Watson Assistant. So we'll go all over these 3, and then from there we will jump with the hands-on part. So basically, Watson Assistant topic will be taught by Hashim Noor, who is the client technical specialist, and then with the hands-on part, we'll jump to it with Mridul, who will be showing us how we can make this integration. So let's get started with what are chatbots. So basically, a chatbot is a cognitive AI that's designed to stimulate a conversation using and relying on natural language. So this can be done through messaging apps, websites, mobile apps, or even through telephone, and something that we'll see later on with Twilio, especially when we're talking about message application and telephone. So just a way we can kind of have a normal conversation, just like a user is chatting with someone else, but in this case we're chatting with an AI bot. And when we're talking about chatbots, we have 3 main types. So the first type is the rule-based, or what we call a bottom chatbot. And this is the most basic form. It's the simplest one of them. It focuses only on decision trees. Now the next type is a bit more advanced, and this one focuses on keyword recognition. So in this case, the bot, the virtual assistant, will be able to detect some customized word. And last but not least, we have the most advanced one, which is the contextual chatbot. So this is the most advanced form out of all of these 3, based purely on AI, and it has continuous learning. So it kind of have the both components of the other two. So it is based on listener trees, and it can use keyword recognition to detect some customized word, but as well it keeps learning from wherever the user is putting into the field where it's talking to the chatbot. So all this data that's being sent to it, it will keep learning from them, rely on machine learning. So in order to keep getting smarter and smarter. And this is kind of the service that we'll be using, during this workshop. Now, why use chatbots? Well, there are many advantages of chatbots. They provide accessibility, capacity, platform agnostic, and other than that, we all know that when we want to put chatbot into real case scenarios, we want to kind of help increase the productivity, especially when we have a lot of traffic somewhere. Is there this kind of one of the main examples in this case was COVID-19. People want to go ask a lot of questions about COVID-19 if they are if they what kind of symptoms do they have, what will have in case they got the virus, or what process you should do. So all these questions, people, an actual agent won't be able to handle all of these queries. So this is a perfect example why chatbot can come into place and support the agent. So it can automate the work. It will be cost effective, and as well it can add customer satisfaction, because if we had a lot of people asking questions, they will need to wait in a kind of a queue, a virtual queue, and keep waiting unless to reach their turn so they can ask a question and get answer. But with chatbot, all these responses can happen instantly. So this can increase customer satisfaction, and as well we can have access to customer insights, especially for example with our service in this case, we'll be able to see all kind of data that's being asked, get a better insights on the analytics part of the chatbot. So there are a lot of main advantages when we're talking about chatbots. Now we want to talk about Twilio because this will be our main kind of bridge that will be provided to integrate WhatsApp with our virtual assistant. So for those who are new to Twilio, basically Twilio is a developer platform for communication. So it provides a link between the internet and telecommunication networks, and it helps to add the capabilities like voice, videos, and messaging to application. So as I said earlier, we want to use chatbots. A lot of time we use them over telephonic network channels and through messaging application. And this is exactly why we'll be using Twilio to get access to this part, to the telephone part, to the messaging part. So this kind of Twilio, this is why we'll be using it. It will allow us to build this integration successfully. And the other service is of course WhatsApp. Now, why we are going with WhatsApp? Well, because WhatsApp is the most common and popular messaging service in the world. It's existing in over 100 countries. It has availability of business profile, and it has a lot of advantages. So it's a very familiar platform. It has an easy to use interface, multi-action engagement, ease of access. We can keep track of the conversation history, and it has bot-to-human handover, and as well it offers chatbot analytics. Now, I want to talk about WhatsApp as well. I want to go a bit into their numbers, to why it's very important to use our virtual assistant with WhatsApp. Well, because it has, first of all, 1 billion daily active users and 3 million WhatsApp business users. And per day, we have 65 billion WhatsApp messages already being sent. And this is equivalent to 29 million per minute. So in addition as well, we know that WhatsApp has the largest market in India and Brazil. We have 200 million users in India, 120 million in Brazil. And plus comes to highest penetration rates, so where it's mainly being consumed, we have Netherlands, Spain, and Italy, 85%, 83%, and 83% respectively. So yeah, that's why we want to go with WhatsApp, because it is the most common, popular service that's being used. So it will be very nice to put our virtual assistant and let the user use WhatsApp as an interface to be able to ask their questions, because this is it is the most popular way and the easiest way to do it. Now we have the last part, which is Watson Assistant, and from here I will leave it to Hashim, who will be talking about what is Watson Assistant, its main components, and to elaborate a bit on this. So Hashim, please, the stage is all yours. Let me put myself on first.
All right, thank you, Khalil. Let me start by talking about the IBM Watson Assistant service. So the IBM Watson Assistant is IBM's one of many AI offerings. Using IBM Watson Assistant, you can build a chatbot, which can then be seamlessly integrated with a variety of messaging platforms such as Telegram, Facebook Messenger, or WhatsApp. as we'll be seeing in the hands-on session today. The way it works is IBM Watson Assistant uses AI and NLP algorithms to learn from the conversations with the actual users. And as a result of that, you have a chatbot which is constantly getting better at identifying the user's intent and providing them with more and more accurate responses. Next slide, please. So now that you guys have a basic understanding of IBM Watson Assistant and chatbots, let me go over the main components that make up a chatbot, right? So the main component that there are three main components that make up a chatbot: intents, entities, and dialogues, right? So let me go over them one by one. Intent, as the name suggests, it's the purpose behind the user statement. It is basically what the user intends to do when they're communicating with the chatbot. So if I say to my chatbot, set a reminder for me, uh, quite understandably, my intention behind that statement is that I want to set a reminder. Sounds simple, right? But however, it is very important for the chatbot to recognize your statements and map them with the right intents, because it is only after that's been done that you'll be able to get the proper information that you're looking for. Next up, we have entities. Entities are used to further clarify the user's intent. In the previous example, as I mentioned, if I say to the chatbot, set a reminder for me, my intention is to set a reminder. However, in order for the chatbot to accurately help me out, it needs some more information, such as what date the reminder is for, what time the reminder is for, and so on. And all of these follow-up questions that the chatbot will ask me and I will respond to, these are encapsulated under entities. And lastly, we have the dialogue. Dialogue is the flow of the conversation. It is basically how the chatbot will respond to the user's queries and what the user will say. This entire back and forth between the chatbot and the user is encapsulated by the dialogue. So building up on the previous example, if I want to set a reminder, I go to my chatbot, I say, hey, set a reminder for me. The chatbot asks me back what the reminder is for, what time is the reminder for, what date is the reminder for, and me answering all of these questions. So this entire back and forth between myself, or you can say the user and the chatbot, is encapsulated by the dialogue. So now on the screen, you'll be able to see flowcharts, and these flowcharts typically depict how the flow of a conversation looks like when it takes place between a user and a chatbot. As you can see on the right, once the user asks a question, the first thing that happens is that the question is mapped according to the right intent. In this scenario, the user asks the chatbot, what flavor are the cupcakes? And that question is mapped under the entity cupcake menu. So now the chatbot knows that the user is trying to get some information about the menu, right? So once that intent has been recognized, now the chatbot needs to know a little bit more information about what exactly in the menu the user is looking for, right? So the chatbot asks the user follow-up question that are they looking for regular cupcakes or are they looking for gluten-free? And once the user responds back, they are helped out. They are shown some information based on what their response has been. So on a high level, this is typically how a conversation with a virtual agent looks like. However, understandably, as the scope and functionality of the chatbot grows, so will the complexity of this dialogue. And definitely you'll have more nodes, more intents, more entities, and so on. Lastly, there are some additional components in IBM Watson Assistant which make it possible for developers to make even better virtual assistants. These components are called slots, context variable, and jumps. Now, while my colleague Mridul will cover these in more detail in the demo, for now, I'll just give you a quick overview of what these are and how they can be used. So firstly, slots. Slots make it possible for the virtual assistant to store information that is captured from the user during the dialogue. Now, this information could be date, time, and place which a user is using in order to make a reservation. So let's say a user comes to the chatbot, they want to make a reservation. The chatbot asks them some questions regarding what time the reservation is for, what date the reservation is for. So all of this information, as the user provides it to the chatbot, it will be stored within the slots, and then that information which is stored within the slots can then be showed back to the user once they are given a follow-up message, or it can be used within the conversation itself. Secondly, we have context variables. Now, context variables, a context variable is a variable that you define in a node, in a dialog node, and the value of this context variable can either be like you can define it by default, or it can come from an application. So, for example, if I am using my virtual agent on my mobile, let's say, uh, an example of a context variable could be the time of the day, right? So the chatbot could grab that information from the application and use it to customize the greetings that is shown to the user. So if one of the user is interacting with the chatbot during, let's say, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., they'd probably say, hey, good afternoon. If it's after that, it's probably going to be, good night or good morning, depending on the time of the day, right? So this is an example of a context variable. And lastly, we have jumps, which allow the virtual agent to navigate to the correct dialog node based on what the user wants. Now, as I mentioned previously, when you are building a large application, when you're building a chatbot for a large application, you'll have a lot of dialog nodes, right? So in order to provide the user the information that they're looking for quickly, the best way is for to directly go to the dialog node that is appropriate to them, instead of iterating over all of them, right? So for that, in order to achieve that, you can insert some jump statements which allow the chatbot to directly jump to a dialog node when they see a certain intent or an entity and so on, right? So instead of going over all the dialog nodes, we can program the chatbot to behave in a way that, okay, if you see this information, then you would directly go to this dialog node. So that's basically it for the slots, context variables, and jumps. I hope now you have at least a basic understanding of what makes up a chatbot, and what IBM Watson Assistant is about. And now I leave the floor to my colleague Mridul, who will be conducting the demo, and hopefully all these things that we have talked about, they'll be even more clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Hashim and Khalil, for that explanation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're all safe and doing well. So today I'll be taking you over through the code lab for the session today, and I'll just start sharing my screen. Khalil, uh, stop sharing your screen. Yeah, thank you. I'll just start sharing my screen. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen and my audio is clear. So, to begin with, we have some prerequisites. I would like you to sign up for an IBM Cloud account. So you can go to this link, that is ibm.biz/WhatsApp-chatbot, and you can sign up for an IBM Cloud account. Next, if you once you sign up for that, I would like you to go to the repository also, the GitHub repository, and download it. That is ibm.biz/WhatsApp-chatbot-repo. So these are the IBM Cloud sign up link and the GitHub repository. These are the two things I want to go. Firstly, sign up for an IBM Cloud account, and nextly, download the GitHub repository. So once you go to the ibm.biz/WhatsApp-chatbot link, so a link like a page like this should open up. Just a minute, I'll just open it for you and show it to you. I hope my screen's clear. So yeah, so you should you'll be able to once you go to this link, you should I'll just open it. So, so you should get this page where you'll be asked to input your details. So you'll have to enter your name, your email ID, and you'll have to verify that. So you can go ahead and you can verify email. It will take a few seconds to create your IBM Cloud account. So this is the page is just opening. Sorry, my internet's a bit slow. Yeah, so you just need to enter your email, you need to create a password, you need to verify your email. There'll be an OTP sent to your email. You just put that, and you need to verify your personal information, and you can just click on create an account, and it should take a few seconds to create an account. There's no credit card required, no other information required. So you can go ahead and create an account. This is essential for our workshop today. Next, once you create an account, I would like you to go on the GitHub repository link. Yeah. So once you go on the GitHub repository, you can see, you can see this repository over here. So you can download this repository. So you can click on the green button here. So you can either download as a zip and unzip it, or if you have a GitHub desktop application, so you can open it with GitHub desktop and it will be installed on your system. Or if you're familiar with command line terminal commands, and you can copy this link, you can paste it, and you can download the repository through command line. So whichever method is preferable for you, you can download the repository in that way, because this we require a skill from here, which we'll be utilizing for the hands-on session today. So after you're done with that, so once you're done creating your IBM Cloud account, so you click on this tab. So this page should open up. So there'll be a dashboard that appears here. Over here, we have some quick start links. So if you want to explore some IBM Cloud services, some tutorials, you can click on this build and you can explore those resources. Then you have, if you're interested in machine learning and you want to explore it with Watson Studio, so you can go ahead, click on this link. We have some sample data sets. Yes, if you can use the same same email for your IBM Cloud link and your Twilio account. There's no issues with that. You can use the same email ID, or you can use a separate email ID. That won't be an issue, and whatever is preferred for you. So then you have, if you want to looking to create a custom dashboard, because if you're doing some analytics and you want to create a dashboard, so you can go ahead and you can click on this link and you can explore how to create a dashboard using IBM Cloud. And there's some other links over here, some tutorials, like if you want to build a web application with Watson's speech to text, or if you are looking for some APIs and SDKs, we have them. We have the documentation from them here on IBM Cloud. You can go ahead, you can explore these resources. So I hope by now you have all signed up for your IBM Cloud account and you have installed the GitHub repository. So you've downloaded the GitHub repository, and so what we'll do is, firstly we'll create an Watson Assistant service. So you can go ahead. So in the search bar, we go ahead and we type Watson Assistant. So once you type Watson Assistant, you can go to catalog results and you click on the service. So Hashim already explained what is Watson Assistant, so I'll just try to summarize it in a line. It's an AI virtual agent that that aims to solve problems in the first time for the customer. And it's basically you're trying to build a chatbot with no coding at all. It helps you build that, and you can integrate with multiple platforms, as Hashim mentioned. So now, once you come to this page, you have the option to select a location under the create section. So you can go ahead and you can select Dallas. So once you select Dallas, you can select the plan is light. You do not need to go for any trial or plus plan, because the light plan is sufficient for a workshop today, and you do not need to input your credit card information at any point of time. So no need to worry about this. So you can click on light, and then you can scroll down, and then you can come, and then the service name. So this is you can give your Watson Assistant any name you want to give. So like for today's workshop, we're trying to integrate with WhatsApp. So I'm just going to give it Watson Assistant -WhatsApp webinar. And that's the name I'll give to my Watson Assistant service. And I'm going to select the resource group as default. That is already default for me. So just make sure to select as default. And once you can check your settings again. So you have select the location as Dallas. You select the pricing plan as light, because that is sufficient for a hands-on session today. And you have changed the name as per your wish for the service. So you can give it Watson Assistant -WhatsApp webinar. That is what I've given. Or you can go ahead and you can give any other name, what you like. And on the side, you'll see the summary. So that shows the location, the plan, the service name, and the resource group. So once you click anywhere, it updates the service name. And if you're looking to explore more about Watson Assistant, apart from what Hashim told and I have mentioned, you can go ahead and click on the About section. You can read about it. So it summarizes, what Watson Assistant does. And then, there are some images here that shows how Watson Assistant really works. And you can go ahead, you can see these pictures. You can see how Watson Assistant, how to build your own Watson Assistant service. So you have the screenshots here, and we'll be using some of these steps today for a hands-on session. So you can go ahead, you can click this, and then you have some related links, some API documents if you're looking to integrate it to other platforms, and some terms and conditions and docs if you're looking to explore more about Watson Assistant. So by now, I hope you have created your Watson IBM Cloud account and you have created a Watson Assistant service. So you can go ahead and click on Create. So we'll give it a few seconds. We'll wait for the service to be created. I hope by now you have created an IBM Cloud account. You have created a Watson Assistant service. So I'll just give a few seconds for the page to load, and you can also take a few seconds to set up your service. So once you create your Watson Assistant service, a page like this should open up. So this is the service name which you have given. It shows as active. That means the service is deployed. And you have some service credentials. If you're looking to integrate with other services, you have the credentials over here. But we're not going to be, we're not for now. This is not required. And then you have the plan. So at any given point, you're looking to upgrade your plans. You can go ahead and you can update the plan for your current service. You don't need to create another service and do all your work. You can just upgrade the plan for this service. But for today, it's not required. And then you have connections. So if you're connecting with other services, you can create connections over here. You can go ahead, you can explore. But for now, we don't need to do any of that. So we'll just go back to Manage section. And once we go back to the Manage section, we click on Launch Watson Assistant. Yes, on the GitHub repository, I'll just, so till this page is loading up, I'll just open the GitHub repository and I'll show that again. You go on this GitHub page, I'll try to zoom in if it's, yes, I hope my screen's clear now. So you can click on this green button and you can click on Download Zip. So this will help you install the GitHub repository as a zip folder, and then you'll have to go ahead and unzip the folder. So you can download this zip folder from here, and you can go ahead and you can unzip it. But if you're familiar with GitHub Desktop and you already have it installed in your system, you can go ahead, click on Open with GitHub Desktop, and this will download the repository directly, and you won't need to unzip it. But that is if you're familiar with GitHub Desktop and you already, there's a prerequisite that you should have GitHub Desktop installed before you're opening your GitHub Desktop. So I hope that clears your doubt. So for now, we'll proceed back to the Watson Assistant page. And over here, this is where we have this page opens up, which says what is an intent. So as Hashim mentioned, the intent is basically it's what the user wants to anticipate while it's interacting with the assistant. So you might define an intent for for a use case such as for a store. You might have store hours. So all the information about the store hours would be stored under the intent store underscore hours, whatever intent name you give. Or if you're looking for a banking application. So if you're making what's chatbot for a bank and you want to create an intent and you want to store the information of all the services that are available, you can create the list of services, that is the intent, and you'll have all the answers related to that, all the queries and answers that are related about these questions and for the services provided with the bank would be listed under that intent. So it's basically what the user intends to ask. It's trying to group all those queries together and it's trying to answer that. And then we have entities over here. So entity is basically a term or an object that provides context for an intent. So for example, an entity might be a city name that helps you distinguish which store the user wants to know the store hours about, or it could be about branch locations in different cities. So if you're looking to segregate according to a particular term or an object, it could be like a city, or a geographical distinction like a district, state, or country, whatever distinction you're trying to provide in that. Then this is what entity helps you do. So they're like nouns or keywords, as mentioned over here, and they try to segregate the stuff depending on what what you want to divide them on. And then you have the dialogues. So this is what this defines what your user says in response, what your assistant says in response to the customers, and based on what it believes the customer wants. So this is like it's represented graphically, as you can see over here. So you have welcome, you have one response over here. So you can see, hello, how can I help you? That is one of the thing. You can give a response variation. What you would like to give. What are different forms. It could be hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on the time. It could be marhaba. Any language you want to. If you want to create greetings in various languages, you can go ahead and do that. And this is one example, and you can add child nodes under this, so you can keep adding more and more nodes, and you keep grouping them. You can keep branching them out depending on how you want to segregate. Then we have the content catalog. So this is just an easy way to add the common intents to your Watson Assistant dialog. So if you're looking to group your intents, you can just group them together. So you have the banking intents. We have all the banking intents grouped together over here. So we have 13 intents which are grouped. So this is basically a very easy way to add all the common intents related to a particular category and to group them. And so this content catalog helps us do that. So going back, we have our skills over here, and you want to create a skill. So now the thing is, there's a default skill, but we are going to be uploading our own skill, which is for a disaster resiliency under flood situation. So this skill is related to floods. We'll try to answer the most basic queries people have, and who are stuck in floods or you're prone to flood prone areas. They would understand what they could do, and we have created a skill for that, and we are trying to give them feed answers to the queries they have related to floods. So for that, we have created a skill. Excuse me. So for that, just click on skill. You create on skill, and then you have the various skills. So as Khalil mentioned, we have various type of chatbots. So that way we have, as advanced we would like our chatbot to be, we have the action skill, dialogue skill, and search skill. So depending on that, what sort of a chatbot you're building, you could select the skill, and you could trying to see how what your chatbot aims to do, how your chatbot aims to solve the problem. So we'll select the dialogue skill for now. That is what we're going to be we have. So we're going to click on next. So if you have your own skills, you can give it a name, you can give it a description that is optional, and you can select the language, and you can click on create, and you can start adding your own intents and entities and dialogues, and you can proceed. You also have the option of using a sample skill. So you can click on customer care sample skill, and you can go ahead and you can integrate the skill. You can just add it from here. You click on this. But for today, as we have a skill for you, it is stayed in a JSON file. So we're going to drag and drop. You can either drag and drop, or you can click here to and browse for your file and select it. So we're going to click on this. Just opening for the dialog, the window to open. So we have the folder, which is the GitHub repository folder we have downloaded, that is integrating Watson Assistant with WhatsApp. And we're going to select this. And I hope you have unzipped the folder by now if you have downloaded as a zip. So you install this, and you go into the skill section, and under the skill folder, and then you select the starter kits file. It's a JSON file. You click on open, and then you click on upload. So just to recap, we have gone through all the skills. So we click on skills. So I just go through it. You can click on create skill. Then you have the options of creating multiple skills. As I mentioned, Khalil has explained the various type of chatbots. So what we aim to, how we aim to build a chatbot, we can select the skill according to that, what sort of skill we're uploading or we're trying to build. So yeah, sorry, I'll just start over again. So you can go on the side on the left hand side menu, and you can it expands. There's a skills section. You click on skills, and you can click on create skill. And excuse me, and you have this. You select the option as dialogue skill, and you click on next. Then as we have a skill over here already, so if you're looking to create your own skill, you can go ahead. You can enter the name for the skill. You can add the description. You can select the language. And if you're looking for a sample skill, we have one sample skill that is related to customer care. So you can go ahead and you can select the sample skill. And as for our workshop today, we already have a skill which we have created, which was there in the GitHub repository. I hope by now you have downloaded all the downloaded the GitHub repository folder, and you have unzipped it, and you can go ahead. You can click on drag and drop the file here. You click on this, and we are going to. So you go to the you go to uh, the GitHub folder. You have unzipped it. You can click on that. You can go under the subfolder that is skill, and under skill we have the starter kit, that is JSON file. Click on open, and you can click on upload. And once you upload it, you'll have all the skills listed over here. So there's one sample skill, and the skill we have uploaded, that is starter kit flood dialog skill. I'm not sure why that issues are occurring. Are you sure you're selecting the right file? So it's under the skill folder, under the GitHub repository. Under the skill folder, it is the JSON file, that is starter-kit-flood-dialog-skill. It's a JSON file. It uploads over here. So yeah, if you can just check if you have downloaded the GitHub repository and you have seen this file is JSON file. So I'll just go over here and see the GitHub repository under skill. Go to the GitHub repository, and you're going to select skill, and you can see it's a JSON file. This when you install this folder, you'll have a JSON file, that is starter-kit-flood-dialog-skill. So yeah, I hope that issue gets solved. If you're not able to create a skill, so let's go back to this page. So if you're not able to create, if you're not able to upload the skill, as someone is having an issue, and if someone else is having an issue, I'll just show an alternate way. So you can click on create skill again. You can select on dialog skill. You can click on next, and you can go to use a sample skill, and you can select the customer care sample skill. So you can just select this, and this should this should create a skill over here. So you can your intent should be different, but for rest of us, I think everyone else, the starter kit flood is working. So I'll just open that skill over here, and now you'll be able to see the various intents, like about flood, after flood, before flood, the various queries we have grouped. So you have the examples. So so excuse me, really sorry. So we have some user examples over here. So you can see describe floods, and various examples over here which have been grouped in this about flood. So this is general flood information, and you have about after flood. Then you can see the entities we don't have here. Then we have the dialogues here. So we have the general greetings. We have the about flood, the answers, and then flood danger, and our flood before flood and during flood, the various what answers to the queries. Really sorry. uh, so we can go ahead and we can go back to skills, and you can see the skill is uploaded here. And now you go on this left menu and you click on assistants. So you can click on assistant, and you can click on create assistant. So you can click on create assistant, and the name for assistant today, we'll just give it as a disaster resiliency bot. So disaster resiliency bot. So that is what will I name? We'll name a chatbot today. So if you're if you're selecting the customer care skill, you can name it as the customer support bot, and you can click on create assistant. Excuse me. So once you create the chat assistant, this page should open up. So I'll just repeat myself so that you're clear on this. So I'll just go back and repeat. So you go back to the on the left hand side. There's a section. You click on assistants, and you can click on create assistant, and you can give your assistant a name. So you can give a customer care, bot. I created a disaster resiliency bot, so I'll just give it name it as customer care bot, and I'm going to click on create assistant, and I'll just go back to my. So this is how your assistant comes up over here. So now you go to your assistant, your disaster resiliency bot, and you click on add an action or a dialogue skill. So we're going to connect our dialogue skill, and because this is a disaster resiliency assistant, so we're going to select the starter kit for flood dialogue skill. We're going to select that, and this intents have been uploaded over here. So this is how we have linked our created a chatbot now. So now our chatbot's created. Now the next step is to link it to WhatsApp. So we're going to do this through via Twilio. So I'll just to repeat myself again and make sure you have done this step. I'll just do it for the customer care one. So you can go back to the assistants. You can click on the customer care bot, and you can add an action or a dialogue skill. Click on that, and you can select the customer care sample skill for this one because this is the customer care bot, and this will link the skill to this assistant, to this bot, chatbot. Now going back to our disaster resiliency bot, I'm just doing the customer care one for the people who are not able to upload the skill for the floods, for disaster resiliency. So I've just showed them how to create, and I'm doing the same step again in case you have missed, so you can catch up. Then on the side, you can see add integration over here. So this is how we're going to add our integration. So we're going to click on add integration, and then we're going to select WhatsApp with Twilio. So as we're going to link it with WhatsApp, we're going to select WhatsApp with Twilio. So we're going to link it via Twilio. So we're going to select this WhatsApp with Twilio, and we're going to click on create. I hope you've selected the right skill. When you're uploading the skill, if it's showing 0 entities, I think you need to select the one which is shows entities. So I'll just go back. I'll just close this. So you can see over here, yeah, 0 entities, 9 intents, and 10 dialogue nodes. If it's shown like that, so for the skill, we do not have an entity in this case, in this example. So we have intents. So if it's fine, if it's 0 entities, it should have 9 intents. So once you create an integration, we have the WhatsApp, we have the integration that is created over here. So I'll just repeat myself again, how to create an integration. So on the left-hand side, you click on add integration, and you go on third-party integrations, and you can click on WhatsApp with Twilio. We have integrations Slack, for Facebook Messenger and SMS with Twilio, Intercom, and other custom applications to integrate with. But for today, hands-on today, we're going to link it with WhatsApp. So you're going to select WhatsApp with Twilio, and then you're going to click on create. And you can. I'll just close this for now. So I've already created one integration. So once you click on create an integration, it should appear into integrations, and you click on that integration. So once you come up over here, so we'll have our SID and authentication token we need to input from our Twilio account to authenticate. So now next step would be to go ahead and create a Twilio account. So we are going to be creating a Twilio account. So Khalil will share the link for the Twilio sign up on the chat. So the link is, I'll just type it down. It's ibm.biz/WhatsApp-chatbot-Twilio. So that is the link Khalil has shared in the chat. You can go ahead. Once you click on that link, this page should appear. So you do not require any credit card again. We're just creating a free Twilio account. So you can go ahead. You can enter your name. So you can just enter your name. So I'll just write my name, Mridul. My last name, that is Bhandari, and email. I'll just write my email, Mridul Bhandari @ibm.com. And you can click on you can create a password. I'm already registered, so it shows already registered, and you can create a password, and you can start your free trial. You can click on I accept the terms and conditions, and you can start your create a Twilio account. So once you create your Twilio account and you sign in, once you create a Twilio account and you register, you'll have a verification email. So just click on open your email, click on that verification email, open the link and verify email. And will be so I'll be just signing into my account. So once you sign in your account, you just go ahead, you can sign in your account. So just take a few seconds to log in my account. So this is taking a few seconds to load. So just give it a few seconds. So I hope by now you have gone to the link, you have registered and created your Twilio account, and you have verified your account. And so once you log in, this is the basic dashboard over here. So we have the dashboard over here. So now once you come to this page, you'll see the SID and the auth token. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this. I'm just going to click on this copy clipboard icon, uh, and you're going to go to the Watson Assistant page. And under WhatsApp with video integration, you can see what's account SID. You're going to paste it over here, and the auth token is the next thing you want to copy paste. So we're going to go back to the Twilio account page, the dashboard. We're going to copy the auth token, and we are going to be pasting it over here. And we are going to click on sync account. So once you click on sync account, it should take a few seconds, and it should sync your Twilio account with your Watson Assistant, and this should basically integrate both of them, and it should show a green tick, and it should show synced. Sure, I'll just repeat the steps again. So this should show it. If you're just click on sync account, that should be done. So I'll just go ahead and repeat the steps again. I'll start from the Twilio account creation. So you go to the link which Khalil has shared in the chat. That is ibm.biz/whatsapp-chatbot-twilio. Twilio spelling is TWILIO. You can copy the link from the chat section which Khalil has shared, and you can paste it in your browser, and this page should open up. So you'll have to enter your first name, last name, the email. You need to create a password, and then you need to click on I accept the terms, the Twilio terms, and then click on start your free trial. So it's a free account. You do not need required to input your credit card information at any given point. And if you already have an account, you can log in that account. So you can click on login over here, and you can log in that account, and you can log in your existing Twilio account. And once you have either created your account or logged in your account, you can go and you can open this page over here. So once you log in your Twilio account, this main dashboard should appear. And on this dashboard over here, you can see account SID. And this is what we're going to require to link our Watson Assistant service and our Twilio service. So you're going to copy this, and you're going to paste it under, come back to the Watson Assistant page, go to WhatsApp with Twilio integration, which we have created. And under that, you see account SID. So you're going to go and we're going to copy paste the SID. And then we're going to go back to the Twilio page. And then we're going to do the auth token and the authentication token. We're going to copy this, click on this icon, copy. It shows copied, that means it's copied. So this is you can just, do this and, go back to the Watson Assistant page, go to the WhatsApp with video integration, paste the auth token and click on sync account. Once, click on sync account, it'll take a few seconds to sync, and then it should show a green tick, and, it should show synced. So be careful, you copy the SID and the auth token in the right fields, and you copy and paste them correctly, so that you get this green sync. Otherwise it won't be able to sync. So you just need to copy paste, and this syncs your Twilio account and your WhatsApp account. So this is how we are linked. So now what you're going to do is you're going to try to link our chatbot with our Watson Assistant. We're going to integrate this with WhatsApp. So we are connected with Twilio. Now we're going to connect Twilio to WhatsApp. So we go back to the Twilio page. On the side we have the console dashboard, which is the main page, and you have the account SID. Then you have the auth token, and we have the auth token, and we got all this thing fields over here. And now we go to programmable messaging. That is the third icon, programmable messaging. So you click on this, and we'll wait for the page to load. So You go to this page. Once you come to this page, you see the monitor dashboard, the insights, the logs. So this is nothing we're going to be utilizing today. So this is just going to log the recent messages which I've used. So it shows me that. So I'm going to go to try it out here. Click on try it out, and under try it out, I'm going to click on try WhatsApp. So I'm going to click on try WhatsApp, and then I'm going to start the setup here. Just try WhatsApp. So I think Postman could be used. There might be an API. I haven't explored it, so I'm not sure about it. But yeah, Twilio works for sure. For now, the Watson Assistant has an integration through Twilio that is available, and we can use that. So you can click on try what's once you come to this programmable messaging page, you go under try it out, you go to try WhatsApp. So what I want you to do is you'll have to take your phones now, and what we're going to do is we're going to message this number you see over here. This might be different. I think it should be the same, but this might be different. So you're going to take plus 415-523-8886, and you're going to save this in your contacts, and we are going to be messaging this number. So you can go ahead and you can store this number, and you can go ahead and link this. So now what it's asking us to do is send the code join design hyphen thumb, and we're going to be that's how it's going to validate if it's if you're going to connect our WhatsApp to Twilio. So that is the first test. So I'm going to be sharing my mobile screen now. I'm just going to go slowly. Yes. So you can see I've saved the number as WhatsApp Twilio. The number that was shown, that was +1. It was in +1 number. You save the number with the country code, and uh, you now the code it asked me to enter was join design thumb. So I'm going to write join design thumb, and I'm going to click that, and I get to receive a message that I'm all set, and I'm able to send and receive messages through Twilio sandbox from WhatsApp. So I'm going to go back to the Twilio page so that there's no. Yes. So I'll just give it a few seconds for my page to settle and appear on your screen. So so now it shows message received. So we have connected our WhatsApp to Twilio. So we're going to click on next, that is send a one-way message. We're going to click on next on that. Then it's showing us how to about one-way messages, how it could be utilized for appointment reminders, order notifications, or for verification codes. So if you already utilized WhatsApp bots, you're familiar with this. You might have used some of these services yourself, so you're familiar with them. Next, we're going to click on two-way messaging. Next, two-way messaging. And we're going to just as we don't have a two-way messaging thing right now, we're just going to skip over this, and we're going to click on next, configure your sandbox. We're going to click on that. So this will take a few seconds to load. So we'll just wait for this page to load. So now under this over here, when the message comes in, so where it's supposed to link it. So we're going to go back to the Watson Assistant page. We're going to go under WhatsApp with Twilio integration, and under the SID authentication, we have, if you see, there's some webhook. So you'll have to sync account for the webhook to be generated. So you can copy on this link over here. Copy this link. Come back to the Twilio page, and when a message comes in, you're going to go over here and you're going to paste it over here, and you're going to go down and you're going to save this. So once you save this, it's connected my WhatsApp to Watson Assistant. Now it's going to be sending messages to the WhatsApp bot, and it's going to be taking responses from there. So now I'm going to go back to my WhatsApp. So I'm just going to slowly open that page. So now I'll just write, I'm just going to write about floods. And it's going to give me a response over here. So now it just says, so we have linked our Watson Assistant to Twilio, and Twilio is linked to WhatsApp. And then, now we have been responding to Watson Assistant for our query. So we're writing about floods, and we're receiving a response from Watson Assistant. So now if let's try one more query, dangers of flood. So it's showing me more and more queries as I want to go. After floods, I'm just going to write a few more queries. And you can see, and you can write before floods now, the last query. So you can see the responses that are coming in. So you can see it's working very smoothly. It's linked to Watson. It was very easy to create this chatbot for your WhatsApp. You can use this for your multiple, use cases like customer use case, set use case, a banking use case, a disaster agency use case, as we've created today. And you can link it to Watson Assistant. And we did this without any coding, and we were able to deploy a whole chatbot, and we were able to link it through our WhatsApp. So I'll so this is how we linked. So I'll just try to just try to show the last repeat the last steps again in case you have missed. So we go to program and messaging. We go to try it out. Then we go to try WhatsApp. Then we send a message to the number that was given on our screen, +141588886 number, and you message them join design hyphen thumb. That's the code. That is usually the code. You can go ahead, you can message join design hyphen thumb to that, and you receive a response that it's you all set to go. So you can click on next, 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 and then you can, when it comes to sandbox configuration, you can copy the webhook link from Watson Assistant that is generated under WhatsApp with Twilio integration. After you've synced your WhatsApp Watson Assistant and your Twilio account, so this link appears. You click on copy this link, you paste it over here. When a message comes in, and you scroll a bit down, you click on save, and then you are able to send queries, and you're able to receive responses to your queries on your WhatsApp from Watson Assistant. So now I would like to pass you on to Khalil, who's going to conclude the session for us. And thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for attending the session. So Khalil, over to you.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, thank you, Mridul. Just let me share my screen. 1 second. Okay. Share. All right, thank you, Mridul, for this amazing workshop. So, guys, this is just a quick, architecture about what's happening with this flow. So, first of all, we have WhatsApp, where we can simply just put our message or the content that we want to ask. And WhatsApp is connected to Twilio, which by itself is connected to Watson Assistant. So Twilio, as we said earlier in the session, is kind of this bridge between WhatsApp and Watson Assistant. So what will happen is once we receive this query, Twilio will do the rest of the work. We'll be communicating with Watson Assistant to send this intent, get the response from Watson Assistant, and send them back to WhatsApp, just like Mridul showed us in his demonstration. So with that, we can, just to make a quick summary, we have created, first of all, a Watson Assistant service on IBM Cloud. And from there, we created a third-party integration, which is the Watson Assistant, WhatsApp with Twilio using, so like Mridul showed you, we click on add the third-party integration, and we chose the WhatsApp with Twilio. And then we just simply link these two together, through the webhook and the configurations that we need to copy and paste. So that's the cool thing about it, that we can do this integration without any line of code. It's kind of out of the box for us. We need just simply to configure it. Now, in this case, we're using Twilio Sandbox. Of course, if you want to use this in real situations, you will need to have a permission from. You need first to have a Facebook business account, I believe, because WhatsApp belongs to Facebook. Then you will need to kind of provide a request at why. Not a why, but like more of the information that you have. So WhatsApp can give you actual permission to go ahead and use it. But here in our case, to keep things simple, we went ahead with the Twilio Sandbox. So this is it for the workshop, from the workshop part. Now, I want to talk just a bit more about Code for Code. This is something that I was talking earlier in the session, where you can participate and put your skills into use and try to make an impact in our community. We're focusing on climate change this year. There are three main topics, which are basically zero hunger and clean water and green consumption. So these are kind of our main topics. You can go ahead and look for all these three different topics. If you have any kind of solution that fits in any of these, feel free to participate. We have all our information there, so you can simply just go ahead, register, and join our community, and meet some new developers, some new people. You don't need to have a technical background. It's open for anyone. So you can go ahead, participate, and have the chance to win $200,000 and make a business. So that's it basically. We just want to share a couple of useful links. First, a couple of links are the one that we were using for this session. So the first one is how to get started, to create your account. Second one is all the hands-on asset that we have on GitHub repository and step-by-step tutorial. I want to share with you as well the IBM developer link. So this is kind of a website for IBM that mainly is used by developers. So you can go ahead and check any kind of technologies that you're interested in. You'll be able to see tutorials, code patterns, articles, videos, this kind of technology that you're interested in. So if you want to learn, for example, more about Watson Assistant, for any people who are new to Watson Assistant, you can go ahead and you will find a lot of tutorials so you can get started with Watson Assistant. Because again, this session, as I said earlier, it's not focusing on Watson Assistant as much as on the integration. So that's why if anyone that is not very familiar with Watson Assistant, just feel free to reach out at the end, and we can, share you some very useful tutorials that can get you, the Watson Assistant 101, so you can get started with what exactly is Watson Assistant, how it works. Finally, we have our meetup page, so you can go ahead and follow our events there. We cover a wide variety of technologies. So we have microservices, where we're talking about container and cloud native stuff. We have security, blockchain, and of course, data and AI. So feel free to check it out. You'll see all of our events there. And if you want to learn more about any kind of technology, just register for the spot, and that's it. You'll be good to go. So I want to thank you again. These are all our contact details. I believe we will be sharing them now on the chat. So if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to us, to me, to Mridul, and to Hashim as well. And please, we would really appreciate it if you can fill the survey for us, so we can know how to improve on any future webinar workshops that you want to do, and as well on any topics that you might be interested in. So that's it for today's session. Feel free to ask any questions if you have, and you can always reach out later on. We already shared you our contacts. So yeah, that's it from my side, our side basically.